One of the most influential revolutionary fathers, the man known as a scientist, a patriot, and a spy, was Benjamin Franklin. Sir Walter Isaacson said that Benjamin Franklin was the most accomplished American of his age and the most influential in inventing the type of society America would become. This is very significant when one considers the direction America has taken since the time of the Revolution. Franklin is one of the most significant founding fathers. He was the only founder who signed all of the establishing documents for the United States, the Declaration of Independence, the U.S. Constitution, and then the Treaty of Paris that brought an end to the war with England. Franklin, of course, known for, having discovered or channeled electricity through flying the kite and so on. He was known as a scientist, an inventor, as a great mind, and indeed he was a brilliant man. He was also well known, Benjamin Franklin was well known as a Freemason. It was said that he only missed a handful of lodge meetings in his entire lifetime. But Masonry was just one of the secret orders to which Franklin belonged. Franklin was a member of secret societies, mainly Freemasonry, in America, in England, and in France. And those were the three countries that were involved in the American Revolution. He was master of the Masonic Lodge of Philadelphia, and while over in France, master of the lodge in Paris, from which sprang the French Revolution. Over in England, Franklin was involved with a group known as the Hellfire Club. And this is very well documented. You even find in Time magazine talks about Franklin's involvement in the Hellfire Club. The History Channel has documented his involvement in the Hellfire Club. There's a number of books and articles and essays and things like that that you can read about him being involved with this group that was known as the Monks of Medmenham Abbey. That was their original name, and then they were kind of nicknamed the Hellfire Club later on. We read that the Hellfire Club was an exclusive English club that met sporadically during the mid-18th century. Its purpose, at best, was to mock traditional religion and conduct orgies. At worst, it involved the indulgence of satanic rites and sacrifices. The club to which Franklin belonged was established by Francis Dashwood, a member of Parliament and friend of Franklin. The club allegedly took part in basic forms of satanic worship. In addition to taking part in the occult, orgies and parties with prostitutes were also said to be the norm. The Hellfire Club was said to be a satanic occult organization that operated underground there in England, and they even had a phrase over the front door of their hideaway, and it was taken from the French priest Francois Rabelais, and it was, "Do what you will shall be the whole of the law." And of course that same phrase is picked up in the 19th and 20th century by Aleister Crowley. Workmen have dug up the remains of 10 bodies hidden beneath the former London home of Benjamin Franklin, the founding father of American independence. The remains of 4 adults and 6 children were discovered during the restoration of Franklin's home at 36 Craven Street. The Times reported that initial estimates are that the bones are about 200 years old and were buried at the time Franklin was living in the house. Most of the bones show signs of having been dissected, sawn, or cut. One skull has been drilled with several holes. The article goes on to suggest that the bodies may have been the result of the experiments of Dr. William Hewson, who was a friend of Benjamin Franklin. Hewson apparently ran his medical school for 2 years in Franklin's home. For the record, the Benjamin Franklin house officially agrees with this explanation. But there are others who still suspect the dead bodies may have been the result of human sacrifices conducted by the Hellfire Club. The Associated Content even published an article titled Ben Franklin and His Membership in the Hellfire Club, Founding Father or Satanic Killer. The original Times article reported that the bones were deeply buried, probably to hide them because grave robbing was illegal. Later reports would reveal that not only were human remains found, but animal remains as well. From the published photographs, some of the bones appear to be blackened or charred as if by fire. It is well documented that Satanists perform ritual killings of both humans and animals alike. Could Franklin and his Hellfire friends have been working with Dr. Hewson to provide him with fresh bodies? Or, if the humans were simply medical cadavers, where did they come from? And why were they disposed of like so much trash beneath the house? Why not give them some kind of proper burial? If thieves could sneak into a graveyard to steal a body, they could certainly sneak in to put one back. It is worth noting that Dr. Hewson developed an infection from working on one of his cadavers and died from it. In the rest of his letter, Benjamin Franklin spoke further about the divinity of Jesus Christ. He said, "It is a question I do not dogmatize upon, having never studied it. And I think it needless to busy myself with it now, when I expect soon an opportunity of knowing the truth with less trouble.